Hello, Rebel G-Man Division 5A. I was about to say 10, and that was last season. That's not how it works at all. We've changed things up a little bit this recap around. I'm still Full Metal. I'm still joined by McNugget.
Hello there, 5A, not 10A, as Metal thought you were.
Right. As you can tell, we've taken the client music away in the background, but we've also got a new feature coming, which I'm super excited for. We're going to talk about that at the end of the recap. But let's just say I'm pretty excited. Now, the first thing you'll notice is that the division says 13 out of 14 registered teams. Now, the reason for that is him, the Nugget, has
It's always my fault.
Been exported to America to bring his personal brand of pain and fouling to the Americans because of changing work shifts, I believe.
Yes, I have been exported to give my lovely brand of Blood Bowl fouling and hatred to our cousins in America.
Apparently they needed more to know what Iron Brew was because they didn't quite understand it. So he's gone to tell them about that. Now,
as far as I'm aware, Iron Brew is actually illegal in America.
Ooh.
Like, there's something in it that they don't let you import it.
Fair enough.
It's only in Scotland is it legal to drink, or safe to drink it, but America says no.
Okay, well, we're going to look, first of all, at the schedule. Like I said, I hope you're enjoying the music in the background. It is, to give him credit, because that's all he asks for, it's completely unlicensed music, so you can play it on anything, but it's from a guy called Adrian von Ziegler, and he's like, yeah, as long as you tell people you're using it, you can put it on YouTube and stuff, and so you know, I'm pretty happy with that. So I hope you like it, because I think it's pretty chill, to be honest. Now, looking at the schedule, there's a couple of 3-0s. I thought I'd done pretty well by being a 3-0, but then it turns out that I wasn't the only one, with Muppetillo taking a 3-0 over some Dwarves. Now, I actually watched... did you catch any of this game? Because I watched...
Do you know what? I missed this game, unfortunately, because Muppetillo's got this great habit of booking all his GMan games when I'm at work. I think he does it on purpose, because last season he played them when I could watch, and he didn't win them. So,
it could also be a case of your work schedule shifting, unfortunately. But yeah, it actually almost was 4-0 apart from a couple of key dice rolls. Meanwhile, Toro Loco took a 2-0 against Learning with Lenny. You drew with Undersartos of BBA, and unfortunately that's going to mean nothing for you because your team's now dead as you've gone off to somewhere else. But it's okay for them. That's two touchdowns. That's pretty good. Yeah. Kane took a 2-1 over Hippocratic BBC. Aldorf Acrobata pulling off what I think might have been a bit of a surprise of the round, beating Gerber.
Nah, I'd say that was a very likely result. Just I know how much of a trash tier coach Gerber is. So
the Bretts are proving that he can't lean on the Orcs anymore. Is that what it is?
Yeah, exactly. I'm surprised it was only 2-1.
Now, I won 3-0, but I was playing against Goblins. And yeah, they had horrific dice. So I'm not going to dwell too long over that. But I was pleased.
How many turns did their troll roll stupid?
Oh, there was one troll that literally rolled a 1 on stupid.
15 turns?
Whether it needed a 2+ or a 4+, it was always a 1.
Yeah.
It was so stupid. His dice were awful, and I felt awful for the guy. But you know what? He was a lovely fella throughout. Genuinely enjoyed my match against him. And hopefully he's as awesome in victory as he is in defeat, because, as I say, a lovely fella to play with. So everyone who hasn't played enough Full Shows of Misfits yet, look forward to that game. Good guy. Finally, Falandor's Revenge took a 2-0 over Candy Mine faction. Like I said, the only 2 games I'm aware of was my own, and I saw Muppetillo's as well. JJ Cash, I believe, is playing right now, so I'm probably going to have to veto his bet later, but we'll talk about that later, okay? Right, first thing we should do is we should look at the new guy who's coming in to replace you. A guy called Grinch. He's, odds are not necessarily in his favour. He is a team who's played 1 game, and it didn't go great with only 6 SPP across the board. He is a Orc team with a dead Black Orc.
Yeah, that's not...
But he's got a troll.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost a Muppetillo team from last season.
And he's called Disco Dave, so I believe in Disco Dave. That's all I can really say about that. That's the new McNugget. So if you were supposed to be playing McNugget, and every time we refer to McNugget's team, it's actually him, okay?
I mean, it's almost like he knew that and called his team name the Grinch.
It looks like that game's just finished, by the way, so...
Oh,
right. Next, let's look at Jujishi's team, what I left him with. Now, it was a bit brutal. I murdered his bomber. He did, however, get a double on his Looney with a turn 1 vanity pass.
You know what I'm going to say, don't you?
You should have been DP.
Yeah.
But I understand the logic, because he gets agility skills on normal, so, you know, he could be the next, what's his face? The little goblin dude who does that kind of stuff. He's got blodge. He's really good.
Yeah, but he's not getting +4 to fouls.
I know, but, you know, keeping him alive isn't a terrible thing. And also, you know, I gotta say, I know it's not the best, but if it helps keep the chainsaw on the pitch, it might be worthwhile. Now, he has got a 0 bank, because I saw that he's built up a level 2 stadium, so I expect to see enough Alta hitting the pitch really shortly.
Hopefully, yes. He does have a few skeleton now as well, though, compared to, I think, you know what I mean, the troll having guard's quite nice.
It did have guard last.
Did it have guard before?
Yeah. Right. It was a pain in the butt.
Was that the one that spent the whole game on the ground, though?
They were both not great, to be honest. Now, switching over to Gerber. Let's see how Gerber developed last game. I think he didn't get any out of the game, to be honest. I really don't think it's changed at all, the team, to be honest.
I would like to say perhaps Knife Hagler should have took guard Gerber. Guard wins games, Mighty Blow doesn't.
See, we'll talk about that when we come to my team, because obviously
I know
fairly similar. Now, speaking of Mighty Blow, though, we have got the Cane Toads in the house, and they're looking still looking really nice. I don't think they've changed awfully much since the last time we saw them.
No, I think that the Blodge Blitzer was the level pending, if I remember correctly, and I do know that he said he wasn't sure. With the Witch having Mighty Blow, I would have personally liked to have seen a bit of guard there instead of a second Mighty Blow.
I kind of feel like guard
is just.
I think once you
guard
get one
is so
killer,
strong on Dark Elves.
You know what though, right? I can see a different angle to this, and I will make the alternate fight. In that, it's nice to have Mighty Blow without Frenzy.
Yes.
As well. So it's great having Mighty Blow on the Witch, but sometimes you just don't want to take a second punch. And in that instance, Committed to Violence would be the better blitzer. So actually, I can understand the logic, but I really wouldn't take any more.
No.
Would be my argument. Now, Toro Locos have just finished the game, so they have got a level pending. We're not going to hold it against them because they've just finished it. In fact, they haven't got a level pending, they've rolled it. It's a double. What is with, right, these stupid, like, goat-cow combo teams and rolling agi-ups?
I think it's the JJ Cash rolling of agi-ups. JJ Cash with his elf humans and now going for his elf chaos.
Elf chaos, yeah. It's a little from column A and a little from column B, because I know that Hood very much rolled a ton of agi-ups as well on his team. So, and this is the Hood style of team. So clearly you need to follow your senpai and roll agi everywhere. He's also taken the safest of safe teams. He's got block on everything. It's great. I actually really like that. I know it's not Mighty Blow first and stuff, but blah blah blah. You're blitzing with the minor anyway, right?
Exactly. I mean, this is definitely the I'm here for the long term build.
Yeah.
You take block for safety, keep them all alive, and then you can start giving them unique second skills. Level 3 skills, but their second actual skill choice.
Here for a long time, not a fun time, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Which is very true of JJ Cash, I hear.
I believe so. Sam Unwin and the Dwarven Death Ballers are up next, and they don't look like they had a great time against like their last couple of opponents. They're losing armour everywhere. They're from the Bargain Boozers school of dwarves, which is just not have armour. What
has Haringzor done to this poor dwarf team?
What has Sam Unwin done to this poor dwarf team? Have you not seen the level on Bashful?
Yeah.
That's getting. I can't bold it. I'm on a different source. Damn it! I haven't got the bold. Right, I'm going to say that that's bold. Sneaky git. I don't think that's a double I'd have chosen. The double I'd have chosen being diving tackle, of course.
The double I would have chosen was the little X button beside the name to fire a armor 8.
Yeah, maybe. Especially one with now that's 100k. 100k of AV8 dwarf isn't the best. I think I'd also fire Glick before. I'd fire Glick and rehire Glick first. Bashful can easily be a loner. That's not a problem. But Glick to me is a sackable offense. Rehire the guy. You've got the money in the bank. Don't do an armor 7 runner.
No, definitely. I would just before they steal any more SPP.
This is Harvey learning with Lenny. It's the we've got a couple of
Can we get another bold in the chat here?
That's a plus armor lineman. You know what? I understand some of the logic behind it because he'll be standing on the LOS, but I don't like it. It's almost as that's an 80k player. You almost get a second lineman for that.
It's a player that should have had wrestle or guard, depending on how you rolled the 10.
Yes. No, I agree. Maybe dirty player, to be fair.
Yes, perhaps.
I like a dirty player on Skaven as soon as possible. I think it's valuable, personally.
With only 11 players, though, I don't like it without a bench.
But you are fairly trim TV, so you can kind of usually get something for your money. I don't know. It's hard to say. There's not much there. Now, there's a much better developed Skaven team here that's got 1200 TV rather than 1080. This is the one that you played, isn't it?
It was, and thankfully I just badly hurt that movement 10 rat, so you all get to play it all season long.
You failed miserably at killing this rat, is what you're telling me. I love the development of the gut runners. To block one first, 2 wrestle. I like to have 2 wrestle gut runners. Yeah. Plus movements are really nice. 2 mighty blows on the storm vermin. Obviously, no doubles for claw, but still 2 mighty blows. That's actually in a really, really good spot this early in the season. You don't have to feed them TDs anymore. They'll look after themselves.
Exactly, and that's the main factor on the Storm Vermin themselves. You want to get them to Mighty Blow where they can just kind of generate their own SPP. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Team of 12 when Scurvy Rat comes back. I wouldn't hate going up to 13.
I would keep the money in pocket right now and maybe see how the next game goes. I don't know. It's a hard one to call, but I do think with this development, Lozera may well be one of the ones to watch in this division.
I would just say to the point that there was a clear difference in style when Edward, the plus movement rat, was on the pitch in our game.
Yeah. So
obviously being able to keep him as protected as possible is a big part of actually getting him to a fully operational one-turning machine.
Crikey is all I've got to say about the next team. Poor old Marcelo Bielsa has taken a bit of a beating on this team. There's 3 players missing next team. I don't know if they're how injured they are. That's just an MNG on the kick. Well, that means the kick's still going to be in play. That's a catcher who has also been MNG'd, and finally a rookie lineman who is that an MNG as well?
Yep, all MNG'd.
Oh, well, that's lucky. It's better than the Niggle Blitzer, who probably needs to be sacked. We've talked to him about this already. I love the Agi 5. I love the Rog catcher. You know, it's a team going in the right direction, but I think Mr. Enzian he can't afford it at the moment. He's got no cash in pocket, but you need to get some cash, and I think you need to fire him, because the plus movement I don't think makes it worth carrying a Niggled, especially on a Blitzer who kind of is your full contact player.
Yeah, you will definitely need to replace him or recycle him as soon as you get some cash for it, yeah.
Got a good old Coach Cool, who actually is Aldar's mate, if you know Aldar from Rebel. And this is his buddy, and he was over the moon with beating Gerber in the first game.
I was about to say, A, nobody's admitting to knowing Aldar, and B, it was Gerber.
You know what?
No, I am joking. Me and Aldar do have a good laugh whenever I used to do Chub Step streams.
Oh no, you can tell Aldar we said that. He'll laugh about it. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. And then he'll PM me.
Dodge catch, I think that's new, so that's pretty good. I like going dodge first on catches, to be honest, just to have that kind of extra bit of reliability.
We do have a lineman going down the Saka route as well with the wrestle strip ball.
I would argue this is the most valuable player on his entire team.
Yeah.
That's going to be Terra.
Moment, until you get the second catcher, because by the looks of things, the first catcher's not going to be going down the sack route, just with taking dodge for skill. So until you get yourself another catcher or another blitzer down those lines, Michelle will be the big threat to everybody coming up.
Yes. Now, that being said, moving on to the next team. I mean, you know what? That strip ball is just going to be terror because most teams don't have sure hands at this point as well. Now, checking my match out, I'm carrying a little bit of bank. I'm going to do something with that when I think up probably another player name and hire a 12th player. As you can see, I've got I focused hard on knights in my match, and my blockers are still really lagging behind. But look, the one blocker I've got leveled has got the right skill, Gerber.
Yep, Asgard. Now, we discussed this last week, if I remember correctly, in which case I told you the only option to take was guard.
I agreed, and that's why I did it. No, if you look, the 2 level ups I've actually got is plus move on a frenzy player, which I'm super excited. In movement 8 frenzy player is actually super exciting for me. I'm like huge. Really pleased with that. And tackle on my mighty blow player.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, the plus movement was that not a non-double 10.
It was a non-double 10.
Yeah.
The mighty blow on Lieutenant Touchdown was also plus movement, but that was on a double 5,
Yeah.
which is why he ended up with mighty blow. But the second, and he just ripped goblins apart. He was brutal last game. He murdered a bomber. He badly hurt a chainsaw. He just smashed anything that came within arm's reach. And that's what got him tackle, which I'm super excited for, because when we get to the matchups in a moment, you'll realise I'm playing a Shrigo.
Quite a lot of elves in Skaven.
Yes.
I would say about your team, though, is your knights are now all kind of in that self-reliable spot.
Yeah, I've been farming hard on them for the first few games of their existence, but from now on, I'm gonna need to start getting those blockers leveled, because otherwise they're gonna lag behind, and they're kind of hard players to level anyway. So
yeah, you kind of want to try and get all 4 with guard before you start coming into the rundown of the season, when you might face the bigger bash teams.
yes, very much so.
No,
Now,
at least it's you've only really got one direction left to go on your leveling your team, and that's getting those blockers a couple of levels, whereas everything else kind of takes care of itself nicely.
It really will. I mean, the dodge guy is going to level eventually from passive touchdowns when I just desperately need a blodger to carry the ball and stuff like that. Looking at the next team, Ezekiel, Candyman faction. I don't think much has changed. I still love that he's got a mighty blow thrower. That makes me really happy. But I bet you he's throwing tons of 1-in-9s and cursing my name because he does not block, right? I mean, but you know what? When it gets claw and then tackle and then block, and then it's actually going to be super exciting for him, I think. So,
well, yeah.
You know, he'll be cursing my name now, but he'll be thanking me down the line. I promise you that.
You hope.
Other than that, there's not a ton to say about them, really. They're 13 players, everything's healthy, there's no casualties, which, you know what, is actually a major deal on Underworld. That's actually a pretty solid position to be. Nothing's dying. Because there's a lot of AV7, and a lot of the AV7 has stunty as well, so...
definitely, yeah.
Obviously, he's going to want to see that troll level up, because either claw first, block on a double, or tentacles, if he doesn't want to go the claw mighty blow route, is all brilliant things, I think.
No, definitely.
Now,
definitely.
another one on my list of ones to watch, Shrigo here. It's just such a good team. He's very expensive. He's at 1410, which means he's the biggest dog in the division. TV-wise.
I'm gonna need you to say it again.
Which what? Where?
Player number 12.
Oh, what the what the? Why has he got nerves of steel?
Yep.
That's a double. That's double for that player. That could have been mighty blow.
That should have been, must have been.
I'm super interested to see how he plays. I obviously I don't want to say anything until I see it on the pitch, but that is definitely getting a massive bold from me, because that could have been a mighty blow war answer. Of course, I'm playing him next, and he's got a couple of players with dodge, so I'm super happy I picked up tackle when I did. Him, probably less so.
You can always kill it and trim it so that we can build it right next time.
Yes, maybe so. Finally, we're going to look at Mopatello, who's another bit. Look at him, 1360. He's not exactly small. But look at this. He's got a strength 4 blitzer. He's got 13 players and 2 dirty players. I like what he's going for the. You know what? If you're playing against Mopatello, he's playing to beat the snot out of you. And I kind of hope that he hits JJ Cash before I do, and fouls his Minotaur to death before I have to deal with it. No offense, JJ, but that's my hope for this league.
Definitely. I mean, I really like the plus strength blitzer. I mean, you take stats wherever you can on blitzers.
It's basically just a faster Blackhawk now, isn't it? He's got like 5 Blackhawks, and one of them's really nippy. I
mean, I would still really like to see him pick up the thrower, just because I know he's got the bank, and there's a couple
we all hate Orc throwers. But yeah, you're right.
Good.
He kind of, really good. Especially when he comes to the Kislev, he's going to want that sure hands.
The Kislevs, the Elves, the Skavens. It's not just that.
Even me at some point, because I kind of want. I want strip ball and a blocker at some point.
Yeah, it's the fact that I don't like wasting a blitzer to carry the ball.
Yeah, that makes sense to me as well.
But I do like to see Taco getting guard. Mopatello very protective of his tackles.
Anyway, that's a quick rundown of the teams. They're looking. There's some really good teams in this division. Actually, we're going to check the current week. Right, we're actually going to. We obviously got to
introducing this now.
We have to write off Toro Loco versus the Dwarven Death Bowlers because it just took a 2-0. But everything else, right? Bearing in mind, Misa Officer Zord is not you. It's the
No,
Orc.
it's the Orcs.
It's the Orc team, right? This is our new feature. Look at this, right? We've got a tipping competition, and we're going to have a competition where it's basically me versus Nugget versus you guys. So every
All of
single
you.
member of 5A, get yourself onto this website. The link will be in the bottom of the video, and so you can sign up to this. I'll also PM you all with it as well to make sure that you've got it, so you can't have any excuse for not taking part. And what you do is you go into the link. Obviously, there's nothing in the leaderboard because no one's tipped yet. The round results take a sec to load. It is not the fastest site. So round 1, the 0 points. This is the actual scoreboard. Round 2, it's giving me the chance. Now round 1 is closed. So you go to My Tips, and it'll start at week 13 randomly. You've got to go back to round 2, which is where we're at now, and we've got to tip each match. So it gives you can pick a team to win or a draw overall. Now again, remember, Misa off for Soizord. It's not McNugget, it's the Orcs. So again, it's your opinion. Who do you think's going to win this one? Are you giving it to the Orcs, or are you giving it to the Skaven? Or a draw?
Great, put me up first. Having not seen the Orcs play yet, and having not seen the Skaven play yet, I'm going to go for a draw.
You're going to go for a draw. Fair.
Yeah.
I'm going to give this one to the Skaven, I think, because Skaven, if they can survive the beatdown, they've got the tools needed to put touchdowns in, but it could go either way. You're right, it could go either way. I don't know. I'm giving it to them. Now, the next one is a massive game. It's the Underworld taking on Muppetillo's Orcs. And as much as I love Ezekiel to bits, I'm finding that hard not to give to Muppetillo, to be honest.
I would say C, Muppetillo.
C. Now, Gerber is taking on Hippocratic BBC.
Big loss for Gerber again.
You know what? I'm going to give him a win on this one because I think he's going to be hungry. He's going to be hungry for the next one.
Yeah, but he's playing that sneaky Elven Union team, and Gerber can't play elves.
So are you giving it to the elves?
Maybe. I'll wait and rile Gerber up a bit more and then maybe tip him.
The Cane Toads are taking on Undersartosa BBA. That's Rats versus Dark. I've got to give that to the Cane Toads, to be honest. There's too much Mighty Blow in play.
I personally am going to tip the Undersartosa. Having played them at least, I was very impressed with their defensive play and their style.
Okay.
So having just that experience against them, I'm going to tip them.
Okay, so Goblins versus Kislev.
Goblins. Always tip Goblins. I mean, I could be telling you who I'm tipping, but I'm really not. Don't listen to me.
Well, no, you're supposed to let us know, because obviously it's the competition. Now, I'm going with the Kislev simply because, honestly, of the strip ball wrestle player.
Yes, I would also go... In all seriousness, I would go with the Kislev in this game. They've got a lot more tools to annoy the Goblins.
I'm going to leave tipping open for this one. Everyone can have a free point. Tip Toro Loco. They've already won. It's easier than fixing it after the fact. Tip Toro Loco.
Gerber on insta-clicks the dwarves.
Right, there's no... Gerber, listen up. There's no prize for worst, okay? Usually we have, like, an absolute, like, the most imperfect bracket. There's no imperfect bracket. Yeah, there's no wooden spoon here. You've got to. It's all about winning, right? So you've got to win the competition to win the prize, and there is a prize. Although, you know what? I'm happy if Gerber throws it because it means I don't have to try and send another mug to Israel.
Yeah, that doesn't work out well.
Guess who's tipping me? I'm tipping me. Of course, I'm tipping me. So once you've done, you click on all the buttons, get them all lit up in green. You're gonna tip Thalandor's Revenge, aren't you?
No question. Well, if I didn't see the Nerves of Steel War Dancer, I might have.
You know what? It's going to win him the game now, and I'm going to feel like trash. Right.
What's going to happen is you're going to sack the ball carrier, and it's going to get kicked out the pitch, and that War Dancer is going to be standing there marked by 4 players and catch it with Nerves of Steel and score the winning touchdown.
Okay, then once you're done, you can click Enter Tips, and the site will update. There we go. Your tips have been entered. It'll say now you can come back and change them up until the point where I lock the games. So as soon as the games have been played, I'm going to come in and I'm going to lock. Well, before the game is played even. So it'll be like, hopefully, if you all contact me and let me know what time your games are due to be played, I'll get them locked off in time so that you can't. We can't have any cheaters. And also because I've got like the next 4 days free, so I want to cast some games. So if you're playing over the next few days, and want your matches cast, I'm happy to arrange that for you as well. That'll be a lot of fun, I think.
To that point, can we make sure that you play on a Saturday or a Tuesday, Wednesday next week so I can watch and laugh, please?
Well, no, because Tuesday, Wednesday next week isn't within the next 4 days, is it, you muppet?
No, Saturday then. You play Saturday. Play
Right.
Saturday.
Anyway, so once it's updated, you can come back, check the round results, things like that. If you change your mind, you can also, by the by, if you feel like it, you can go on and tip next week, the week after. If you're worried that you're not going to be around to keep up with the tips, you can tip weeks in advance. That's not going to be a problem.
And then change them, obviously, before they get locked.
Yeah, you can. So that's what I'm saying is, you can, if something bad happens and one of the coaches loses like half their team, you can
hopefully Mel.
you can change that away from tipping for them and tip against their opponent instead. But I haven't actually tipped a draw this time, so it'll be interesting to see how that works out. But there we go. That's the in-game thing. And quickly looking at the leaderboard, naturally JJ Cash is on top, but that's because he's got 2 wins and he's played 2 games and he's a cheat. Everyone else has 1. So Mupatillo, me, Ashrigo, Coach Cool, and Big Easy TP all drawed on 1 win in joint second place. And then we've got 1 draw, which is just Lozra now, and then the rest of them, unfortunately, are losses, including Gerber, just in case no one noticed. There he is, right there, Gerber. Right, have you got anything you want to add to the end of the recap, or are we done for the day?
I do. I would just like to say, obviously, that I'm no longer in the division, so that gives me the great opportunity of saying every week, please destroy Metal's team. I would like to see turn 16 fouls. I would like to see spike fouls. I want to see fouls over scoring, surfs over scoring. For every dead player on Metal's team, I will give you 1 Scottish brownie point. It doesn't mean anything.
Not worth actual money, though. I mean,
No,
if you put money behind it, it might be worth something. You loser.
Yeah, but we know what happens when we discuss money, don't we, Metal?
Yes, fair, fair. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. McNugget, thank you for joining me now.
Cad, thank you again, and I will see you all next week.
Yeah, indeed. I'm looking forward to seeing how this works out. Like I say, once again, as a friendly reminder, if you are playing, please do PM me your match times. Just so I know when to lock off your tipping, but also, like, if possible, I will cast as many games as I can from this division, especially because it's my division, and I kind of want to do that even after this weekend. So try and let me know when you're playing, and I can get that done. Otherwise, stay classy, folks. We'll see you next week.
Bye bye.